Studio One 6.6 introduces a brand new hybrid synth instrument for Studio One Plus members, Lead Architect. Every sound in Lead Architect consists of up to 3 parts, which can be either synthesizer layers or field recordings or even samples from hardware classics such as Buchla modular systems or the Synclavier. And before I show you all the different kinds of sounds that this amazing instrument can produce, let me first show you how you can install it. So you need to be a Studio One Plus member, as I said, to get Lead Architect, but if you are, then you find it under Studio One and Studio One installation once you've updated your Studio One to version 6.6. And then under available downloads, which in my case would be installed content because I have it installed already, you should find Lead Architect by simply using the search. You can also scroll down, but this is the fastest way, I think. And then you just tick this checkbox right here, hit activate, and once you've restarted Studio One, you will find Lead Architect right away here in your instruments browser. If you'd like to learn more about Lead Architect before you get started, you will find our brand new manual for this virtual instrument inside of the Help menu. So just click on Help here in Studio One and then select the Lead Architect right here to open up the manual. And then you can read all about its features and functionalities. But to be honest, it's such an intuitive instrument that I would recommend you to just get started with the amazing sounding presets, which are guaranteed to inspire you right away. To do so, you just go to your instruments browser here in Studio One, you select Lead Architect and you just drag and drop that directly into your song and you can start playing right away. Here we go. Sounds pretty sweet, right? And that's just the beginning. This thing is not just great for bass lines, but also synth leads, paths, and melodies of all kinds. So let me give you a brief overview of how this works. So here you have a quick access to all of the most important parameters of your sound, such as cutoff. And then you have this really intuitive panel right here where you can pan between the different layers or parts, as they're called, of the currently selected sound. Also, you have a direct access to the attack and release for each of the layers. This is super intuitive to adjust. And down here, you can also adjust the arpeggiator, reverb, and delay on a per sound basis. Now, if you click on the individual parts right here, you get to a more detailed overview. This is the part editor where you can adjust all of the different parameters so you can really dive into the sound design aspect of it as well. But before I talk too much about the parameters, I really want to show you what this thing sounds like to leave you hungry for more. So here are a few of my favorite sounds that I've been able to come up with Lead Architect so far. So those are some of my favorite sounds of Lead Architect, and that's really just a few. There's so many awesome presets, and you don't even have to play keyboard well to get the most out of these sounds, because there's an actual music loop library with ready-to-use musical phrases that are really easy to edit that you can use as a starting point instead. So if you go to the files browser here in Studio One and you navigate to your Studio One sound sets, you should find the Lead Architect sound set in here. And when you navigate to the music loops, you find a couple of ideas that are ready to be edited in every way possible. For example, the plugged machinery. I can double click that to pre-audition. This is actually playing back in the song tempo because I have the metronome icon active. If I deactivate it, it will play at the original tempo. And if I say this is actually fitting quite nicely with my arrangement here, then I can just drag that into my song, and it's not gonna bring in like any old sample with an audio loop inside, but the whole MIDI performance that you can still alter. For example, if I don't want the first 3 notes of this new lead architect sound to be so short, I can simply drag them out. And I don't have any degradation or quality loss here because I'm not messing with a WAV file, just with MIDI notes that are not set in stone yet, right? And as I said, if you want this to sound a bit less like the preset, then you can simply adjust the distribution of synth parts by moving this triangle around. Now I was using much more of the second part over the first part, and this completely changed the sound. Nobody would expect this to come from a preset anymore, and this is why Lead Architect is so awesome. It sounds great, it's hands-on and instant to use. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead and download Lead Architect right away as part of your Studio One Plus membership in version 6.6. Thank you for watching.